He'll call in any time.
I'm right here.
Oh, he's already here. Why? Here. Whoa. Here's Doc.
Guys, good morning.
Well, Doc, he shoots from the hip here. He's ready to go. You're on, Doc.
You got that right. Well, Reed, Bill Joe and I are standing in the gazebo in the middle of South Dayton, and we're going to be firing up the instruments here in just a few minutes. So let the folks know in Chautauqua County that there's a farmer's market here. It's a gorgeous day, and this is just a beautiful town. I'm just looking around, and it's just got some beautiful old-style buildings, and the folks are starting to come out, and it's just a great day here.
Where is it?
South Dayton.
South Dayton. Where?
Yep. Oh, you go past Arkwright, Villanova, and then you hang a left, and you just keep on going across the Cattaraugus border, and you're in South Dayton.
Well, I mean, is it a park or?
Oh, right in the middle of a park right now. Right?
Okay, you can't miss it then, probably.
Right.
Stay on the main drag. Now, you guys are specializing are you going to play Danny Boy?
I'm not sure. Depends. Sometimes we do. But we're going to be doing American and Irish music today. And as I say, the folks are starting to come out, and we're going to be firing up just in a minute here because I want to catch you just before we did.
Well, do they have food over there?
I'm looking around. I see some baked goods. I see some preserves, breads, the usual kinds of things.
I wish they had. I wish they had some honey. We got honey here.
Always when I'm not there.
Yeah, well, we're talking about bees. It's going to be a great show.
Well, you be good over there.
Well, tell me, do they have fooling around?
I can't answer that on the air.
Okay.
So anyways, as I was coming out here, I saw the farmer's market in Fredonia, Westfield, and I think I saw another one on the way in. So Jamestown has one, so the markets are popping up all over the place. What a great way to support small town businesses and so forth. So
yes, indeed. These the beekeepers that we have here, Terry and Ben Whitney, they have a stand over in the Westfield Farmer Market from time to time. Excellent.
Well, we'll have to stop and get some honey from them.
Well, I'll tell you, they say the Westfield Farmer Market is a great place to be.
It sure is, and they were. Oh, okay. All right, listen, I'll let you get going because we got to get started here.
Okay.
Folks, if you got nothing else to do, come on over to South Dayton. We're having a great time over here.
Well, thank you for tuning in, and it's good to. I wish you great success.
All right, we'll see you next Saturday.
Doc is off the air. We've got a great program coming on right now, and we're going to talk about bees and lots of bees and bees. Randy, if you want to take a shot, this is what a beekeeper looks like. This is Kendra. How old are you, Kendra?
I'm 12.
12-year-old granddaughter of Terry and Ben Whitney. And this is the beekeeper outfit. You must have something on your feet normally, too.
I usually wear boots.
You wear boots? And they tie up or something under the...
I just pull up my boots and put my pants over them.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about what she's wearing now, would you please? This is Terry Whitney.
Hi, I'm Terry, and this is a standard bee suit that all beekeepers wear. This just happens to be a small size one for a child. But basically what we do is we suit up so that the bees can't bite us and sting us. So what we do is we put on this heavy canvas gear, and once the bees land on it, they can't sting through it. So you're pretty much safe. The netted face part that's up around your head allows you to see around the sides and out through the front so that we can go in and work on the bees and work and still be safe and visible. We make them, they are in white because bees are less aggressive to white color. So they usually make all bee outfits in a white color so that you are able to go in and safely work around the bees without them being aggressive. So basically this suit here is all zipped up and cased up. You wear special gloves and boots and you're set to go. You're safe with the bees.
And they don't bother you. Well, you told me that if a bee stings you, it really upsets you. Not so much from the sting, but each bee costs money, and
yes, they do. They're like 3 cents a piece. So we hate to see them die. So we want to keep them as safe as possible, and us as safe as possible.
Well, honeybees are different from a lot of bees. Wasps and hornets and the yellow jackets. They can sting you over and over and over and come back and sting you again. the honeybee gets one shot and he dies, right?
Yes, it does. What it does is the stinger, once it's injected into your skin, it pulls out all the entrails of the bee so that the bee will die. It might not die immediately, but it will die. So it's only available to sting you one time. But like you said, the wasps and the hornets and the little yellow jackets, those ones are the ones that'll keep stinging without
Right,
dying.
and they don't die. Yeah, well, the interesting thing about the honeybee stinger is that even though the honeybee flies away and leaves the stinger there, and you can watch it, it continues to pulsate and drive the venom into your body long after the bee's dead, or gone anyway.
Yes, it has a little sac that does pulsate, and you can actually see it. It's amazing to watch this little exterior sac, and it does pulse, and it will pump that venom right into you.
Bee lore. Well, thank you very much, guys.
Sure,
and
thank
Kendra,
you.
I appreciate you being our costume wearer.
Thank you.
My only question is, why isn't the screen white? Okay, that's for the muses, I guess. Okay, guys, we have with us doing some of the chatting here, Ben Whitney, a beekeeper of many years' experience, and he has 1 million bees. Probably does have pretty close to
Probably
them.
with
Yeah.
100 swarms at
Yeah.
40,000 apiece, probably do.
Yeah, 40 hives. No, you have
100.
100 hives, and 40,000 per hive, right?
Approximately, yes. Yes.
100,000 is 4 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of bees.
That's a lot of bees. At 3 cents a piece, it's worth a buck or two.
I don't know if you could collect it or not.
Well, now, first of all, where you come from? Where were you born and raised?
I was born right in Clymer, New York. We have a large dairy farm there. We've lived there for years, and I plan on living there for a few more years.
Well, great. I hope you do. Do you still do the dairy farm?
I don't milk cows anymore. I still own it, but it's rented out to younger people.
Okay, it certainly is a job, and I notice the prices have been pretty poor lately. I mean, it's hard to make a living.
Dairy farming is tough sledding. Any type of agriculture, I think, is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of dedication.
And this is a form of agriculture.
Absolutely.
It does take a lot of work.
Bees are controlled by the United States government as far as being a part of agriculture. The USDA inspects them annually and things like that.
They check your bees?
Yes, they do. They come out and inspect each hive. The program right now in New York State has been suspended because of the lack of budgeting, but it'll come back. They do still inspect the commercial operators, the ones that have a lot of hives that are moving back and forth, moving from state to state. You have to be inspected in order to move your bees across the state line.
And that's where I think you mentioned the fact that that's where the major income is from bee raising.
Yes, it's from pollination. Pollination is, for the big boys, is much more important than the honey sales.
Right, and not just honey. What else do you get from the bee?
Oh, you can sell pollen, you can sell propolis, you find that kind of stuff in a health food store, and of course wax.
And what is that bread they have, or whatever it is?
That's called bee bread. It's a mixture of royal jelly and honey that the bees store and feed to their young, and it's obviously has great health benefits, or people wouldn't be using it. And propolis is something that they wrap their hives in to keep out parasites and things like that.
Yeah, you had mentioned one of the parasites. What is that?
Our largest parasite for bees is the varroa mite, and it attaches itself to the hive, or to the bees, and it's an external parasite, and it basically sucks the blood out of a bee, if you would. It's not really blood, but it's their hemoglobin.
Yeah, here's what it looks like, guys. And it jumps right up on that bee, and then it spreads throughout the hive. You said it takes about 3 years to kill them, huh?
Yeah, it will. The hive will continually go downhill when it gets high mite loads. There's always mites in a hive, but a beekeeper tries to control that. Ways of controlling it, there's hard chemicals, there's soft chemicals that are common to the hive. There's the powdered sugar method. You can pull the queen out and put her in a different box, and in the absence of brood or fresh eggs, the mite doesn't live as long as bees will, and you can control them that way. Anything to reduce the mite load.
That's a big danger, huh? I just showed you a picture of a couple of mites on a bee. On a bee larvae, right? This is a baby bee.
Yes, that's probably on a drone bee. That's on a drone larva.
Okay.
That's their favorite. Their favorite food seems to be laying eggs on drones.
What are drones?
Drone is a male bee that propagates a hive by mating with the queen.
Okay. Does a drone do anything?
We say they don't do anything. They do consume a lot of honey. They do consume a lot of food. The hive will actually kick them out late in the fall before winter so that they don't have to feed them over the winter. The worker bee itself is a female that never developed into a queen. That's probably the basics of biology. We have 3 different types of bees in a hive. The queen leads the colony. The worker bees bring in the honey and the pollen and store the food and build the wax. The drone is,
Just hangs out and eats.
he's kind of lazy.
Watches TV, does nothing.
There you go.
Nothing meaningful.
Kind of like one of us after we retire.
They say the drone does help to aerify the hive. They sit around the front of the hive and flap their wings and.
Yeah, they could do that. They could do that.
Yeah.
They buzz around a bit and move. By buzzing around inside the hive, they do move air around.
Yeah. Who fights if you have trouble, do the drones go after you, or is it?
No, the drones do not have a stinger.
They don't do anything serious.
The young worker bees
Uh-huh.
they're one of their first jobs is to clean the wax in the hive and get ready for eggs and to store food. Then their next job is to set at the front entrance and to guard the hive and to sting you if you approach it, or if you get too close. I mean, I've gotten right down and looked within a few inches into a hive and not gotten stung, but I'm a little careful doing that.
How do you get away with it? You think?
Well, by being quiet and gentle and not making a lot of noise. You don't throw a rock at the hive and then try to work on it.
Well, now, if to get stung by a bunch of bees, what's the best thing to do?
Well,
roll on the ground and.
if the camera can see this, I actually
Sure.
have a picture of someone who just got stung. Here's the bee flying away. You can see, I don't know, there you go. You can see that it's pulling his insides out. He's not going to live very long. There's the stinger in the arm. I would scratch that stinger out either with my hive tool or with my fingernail. Grabbing a hold and pinching on it will push the venom in. If you ever have the time to watch one of those stingers after it's stung you, it will twitch and pulsate. And
I watched one.
yes, and it's quite painful.
Yeah.
But scratching that out is the best way as opposing to pulling on it.
Yeah, what do you put on it? Vinegar or peroxide? Or
I think that the old thing that they used to use, just putting mud on it, would probably, if you really wanted to do something, would be to mix up some dirt and water and make a mud pack.
Huh.
Probably would be as effective as anything.
Probably absorb some of the sting.
Yeah, I don't put anything. I don't put anything on them because I'm usually so aggravated from getting stung that I don't think.
3 cents down the tubes.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, how many times have you been stung? You've been around these guys for years now, right?
I commonly get stung 2 or 3 times a day, and that will convince me to put my bee suit on to continue my working.
So you're working unprotected when
Yeah,
you get stung.
I quite often will go to the bee yard dressed just like I am, with short sleeve shirts on because it's warm in the summer, and go back and get the bee coat after I'm marked, because once a bee stings you, you're putting out a pheromone that will attract more of them to sting you.
I see. Trick is not to get that first sting.
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah, if you can work quietly with a smoker. I have a smoker here.
What's a smoker look like? Now, what is it? Tell us what it is and how it works.
Well, it's a bellows operated machine. When you
just
pump it,
squeeze it, huh?
yeah, you pump it, pushes air up through and it comes out here. There's a valve in the bottom so that the air doesn't backflow. You open this top up and we usually start with a little bit of newspaper and then grass clippings. And we would take this, these are our two common tools. This is to pry the pry the frames up out and open, move them around inside the hive, because they stick everything together with propolis. And, we would smoke the bottom of the hive, probably 6 to 10 puffs of smoke